I'm on a bit of a mission today, but it's a mission with a real purpose. You see, this year I've been talking to a guy called Paul Greenwood, and Paul is one of the leading authorities on yew trees in the UK. Paul's written books. He runs workshops. There's a load of stuff around the history, the biology, the conservation of yew trees. And one thing that he does is he organises or maintains this website known as the Ancient Yew Group. And what happens on that website is they catalogue and database every single yew tree that they know of in the UK. But when you look at the map on that website just now, England and Wales are awash with these ancient yew trees, but the map in Scotland is rather empty. That's because the yew trees have never been catalogued or confirmed, but we know that they're there, and Paul's looking for people to put these trees on the map. So that's what I'm out doing today. I'm looking for some Scottish yew trees that haven't been recorded on the Ancient Yew Group yet. So let's go and see what we can find today. Now, as you probably know, yew trees have this really strong connection with religion and spirituality. So where I've came today is the oldest site of Christianity in the Scottish borders, and it's Old Melrose, the site of Old Melrose Abbey, which existed in the 5th and 6th centuries AD. Did the monks who arrived here in the 5th and 6th century AD from Iona bring any yew trees? And do any trace or ancestors of these yew trees exist today? There are certainly plenty of wonderful old trees on this Old Melrose Abbey land, but are there any yew trees is the question. I'm quite optimistic, to be honest. The St. Columba sent monks from the west coast in Iona here to the east coast, to Lindisfarne or Holy Island, but also to here, to Old Melrose Abbey, to create sanctuaries and monasteries, abbeys on this side of the country as well as the west coast. The reason they chose this place, Old Melrose, was because the River Tweed flows down here and makes a huge horseshoe at the bottom, which creates this peninsula, this promontory at the bottom there, cut off from the rest of the country by the river. And that gave the monks the solitude or the isolation that they wanted to pray and give thanks to God. So this was the perfect situation for them. No trace of the old abbey, monastery remains. It would have been wooden buildings anyway, and they've all but gone. Wow, looks like I might have struck gold already here, because here is a fantastic old layering of yew just as you come into the grounds of the abbey here. Wow. Yeah, you can see all these branches firing down to the ground here, trying to take root. A fantastic thick old trunk there as well. Wow. It's on a really steep incline here. But this is old. This is really old. Yeah, it really is a beautiful old tree, this. On this fantastic downward slope here as well. How old is it? I don't know. Was it here at the time of St. Cuthbert? I doubt it, but it's probably an ancestor of those trees. Amazingly how the roots are in the side of the hillside here, or the cliff. And the whole thing's growing like horizontally outwards. Wow. And it does have a little brother over this side. Or perhaps it's just an offshoot of that tree. Let's get a closer look at that one too. Yeah, just look at that. All these layering branches down here as well. Magical. Yeah, I really couldn't have wished for a better start to my expedition today. But the question is this the end, or is this just the beginning of the yew trees in this old Melrose Peninsula? Let's find out. Yeah, nobody said this was going to be easy. You can see this one here right next to the river. Wow. So here we go. Right next to the water's edge. Another yew tree almost layering right into the water. Look at these fantastic branches and the fantastic position of this one right on the Tweed. It would seem that there's a real abundance of yew trees. Now, it might be modernish planting, but for me, it would suggest that there's been a colony of yew trees here for a long, long time. But is there a mother? Is there a central point to all these yew trees? I don't know. Let's go further downstream and see what we can find. And another one. That one's a lot smaller. Another one. I'm going to have to scale this bank in here and go along the top because the river is flooded and there's no path along the bottom there. If I can get up here. Yeah, that was unsuccessful. Take another route up. Yeah, that's the bank in there that just fell down. But there's the yew there. You know, it's a lot smaller than the other two, but it's still a fantastic example. Beautiful. And then the other one, just right there. More yew trees. They're everywhere. Paul's hunch and my suspicion that because of the religious connotations of this sacred ground, that yew trees would exist here is proving not just right, but extremely right. And look at this beauty right on the little burn. Wow. Wow, look at this example. Beautiful. Really large, really tall. And this one is a male yew tree. You can tell because of the little flowers on it. So it won't have berries on it, but it has these little flowers at this time of year. Again, it looks really old to me. Again, I think walking along the river here is going to be a bit dangerous today because the river's rather high. The rocky sides are extremely mossy. If I fall in there, I'm going to have a really good swim to get out, I think. So I'm going to go back into the forest because we're really coming on to the peninsula here, the bit of land that really was the Abbey. So we've got that many yew trees there on the way in. What's it going to be like in here? Like another yew right down on the riverside there. I think I'll go down and have a check on that one. I love this one. It's not very big, but it's got that twisted and contorted, and it's growing down. It doesn't know what to do, it's just growing anywhere it wants. And it's got this little hole right through the trunk. Amazing little tree. Wow. Somebody's been manicuring it though, you know. This is prime fishing territory. They're clearly looking after the fishermen here more than the yew trees. I might take this piece of yew wood if the yew lets me. Wow, look at this tree from the underside. It's perched on this huge rock here. I would suggest that this was a kind of important place, maybe a preacher's point or something like that. Wow. It looks small and insignificant from the top, but from down here, imagine if this hadn't been manicured, it'd be all over the place. Amazing. Growing out of rock. There is a train of thought, or a hypothesis, which goes that when St. Columba came to the Scottish Isles, he found an island with this ancient yew tree on it, and he worshipped and revered this tree so much, he didn't want anybody to harm it or do anything to it. So what he did was he set up this monastery, this decoy monastery on another island, and the decoy monastery was on Iona because he wanted to keep ruffians and invaders away from his sacred yew tree on a neighbouring island. Iona was known as the Isle of Yews, but there are no yews on Iona now, that's for sure. There are no trees on Iona as far as I could see the last time I was there. Does the other island exist, and does the yew tree still exist? Well, it's supposed to. There is supposed to be evidence of the yew tree on the neighbouring island. You decide. Well, I'm back down on the river. I'm absolutely covered in mud. I've just about died, but I've got a feeling that this yew tree adventure is just beginning. So let's go further onto this sacred promontory. There on the land, and the gate is 2 yew trees. And then another little yew just right there. You know, I don't think I'm going to find this elusive huge mother yew tree somewhere in the middle of the grounds here. It's just not going to happen. But I think what I have shown here today is this sacred ground, this real religious site, has a huge colony of yew trees here. Now, how did they get here? Did the monks from Iona bring them in the 6th century, or are they more modern than that? I don't know. Maybe not these actual trees, but these are probably offshoots from that time. I don't know. Maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But there's definitely an unusually large proportion of yew trees in this forest. Very interesting. Of course, it's not just yew trees on this site. These old oak trees are magnificent too, lending themselves to some sort of druid ceremony. It's the actual site of the Abbey just in there. And I do, you know, I really do genuinely feel when I'm on this site a real feeling of peace, serenity. It just envelops you. I don't know if it's because you're cut off from the rest of the land by the river, or, you know, there's definitely something different, spiritual and calming about this site. Truly amazing place.